My name is Ken Yang. I'm an architect. Sustainable design is by integration of everything that we make and do as human beings with the natural systems in a seamless and benign way. I don't think there's any difference. What is different is the different climatic zones. So designing in the cold climate is very different from designing in the temperate climate, which is very different from designing in the tropical climate. So for different climatic zones, there are different strategies. Then different parts of the Earth, different parts of the planet have different biodiversity and ecology. And so, for instance, near the tropics is very biodiverse, and that's increasingly less biodiverse as you head towards the upper hemisphere. And so the difference is really how you address the climate. Because as you head above the equator, you have to deal with the 4 seasons of the year. The cold season, a very cold winter, and a very hot summer, and 2 very nice mid-seasons. And the design strategy in addressing those seasons is very different, let's say, from in a cold climate where it is very, very cold. Then the strategy is different, and designing in the tropics is very different. So it has to do with climate, with ecology, with the topography, and with the ecology of the land. Green building covers a multitude of, sins, if you like, cover a multitude of descriptions. Green buildings, to be effective, really has to start with the infrastructure. Because if the infrastructure is not green, then whatever you attach to it, whatever is connected to it, can never be green. And so let's say if you design the most energy efficient building, the most sustainable building that you can ever design, but if it's connected to a grid in which the source of energy comes from burning coal, burning oil, which gives us huge emissions, then no matter how green is your building, it can never be considered green because it's connected to a source which is actually polluting the environment. And so for green design, you should start not so much at the component end, not so much at the building end, but at the whole infrastructure in which everything's connected to it. That means the energy infrastructure, that means the sewage infrastructure, the water infrastructure, the IT infrastructure. This infrastructure itself must be green. That means the source must be green. Then anything else attached to it becomes green. But if you start doing green buildings, then the whole system will never be green because you're starting at the tail end. If you talk about green buildings today, it's very different from talking about green buildings, say, 20 years ago. Even within that very short period of time, the pollution, the contamination, the devastations we've done to the environment has been extensive. And even if we stop all our emissions today, all the emissions that we've done in the last 20 to 50 years will continue well into the future. And so green design today is no longer a preventive act, but it is a race and rescue act. And so in that sense, we don't have very much time. I contend that, within the next 10 to 50 years, we really have to do something about the environment. Otherwise, there won't be very much of it left for the future generations.